Hey there. Have you ever looked at your 401k statement and just had that thought, is this really going to be enough? I think we've all been there. It turns out the way we plan for retirement here in the US is just one way to do it. So today, we're going to take a look at the global playbook to see what the rest of the world can teach us about building a secure and, comfortable future. I mean, seriously, have you ever just stopped and pictured it? What does that life look like after the daily grind is finally over? It's a huge question, right? And for a lot of us, it comes with this mix of excitement and maybe, just maybe, a little bit of anxiety. The biggest question of all is, will we actually be ready for it? Well, the good news is we don't have to figure this all out on our own, in a vacuum. Different countries have cracked this code in some really fascinating ways. So let's take a little trip and explore some of the world's smartest retirement ideas. And by the way, if you want to start applying these ideas to your own situation, we've got personalized tools for you over at www.retirementaihelper.com. Okay, so before we take off, let's ground ourselves in what we know, the American model. It's basically broken down into two main pieces. You've got Social Security, which is that government safety net, and then, well, the rest is pretty much up to us through things like our 401ks and IRAs. It's really a mix of public support and personal responsibility. So how does our model actually stack up? A really key number to look at is the income replacement rate. All that means is, what percentage of your working income will you get back when you retire? Here in the US, that number is floating right around 50%, which you'll notice is actually below the average for other developed countries. But then your eyes land on a country like the Netherlands, hitting 80 to 90%. I mean, that's a massive difference. It really makes you wonder, what are they doing so differently? So that brings us to our first stop, Europe. Over there, the whole philosophy is often built around the power of the collective, and they tend to have these much more robust state-run pension systems. Let's just let that number sink in for a second. 80 to 90%. Can you imagine retiring and still having almost all of your previous income coming in? For so many of us, that's a level of security that's kind of hard to even picture. So the big question, of course, is how on earth do they pull that off? Turns out their secret isn't some magic bullet. It's a really powerful two-part structure. First, everyone gets a basic state pension. Think of it as a guaranteed floor that no one can fall below. But, and this is the key, on top of that, pretty much everyone is automatically enrolled in a mandatory workplace pension. It's that 1-2 punch of a safety net plus required savings that makes their system so incredibly powerful. Now, of course, this kind of security doesn't come for free. There are definitely trade-offs. We're talking higher taxes during your working years, for one, and just like a lot of places, they're feeling the pressure from aging populations. That's led them to gradually push retirement ages up, just like we're seeing in countries like Germany. All right, let's pack our bags and head east to Asia, where the approach to retirement has traditionally built on a completely different foundation altogether: self-reliance and really strong family bonds. For centuries, the absolute bedrock of support for the elderly in many Asian cultures was this concept called filial piety, which is the deep-rooted tradition of children caring for their parents in their old age. For a very long time, that was the retirement plan. But, modern life is putting an immense strain on that tradition. In China, for instance, decades of the one-child policy created what they now call the 4-2-1 problem. It means a single adult child might find themselves responsible for supporting 2 parents and 4 grandparents. The math on that, well, it just doesn't work anymore. So, faced with these kinds of challenges, some countries forged a brand new path. And Singapore's Central Provident Fund is a really fascinating example. Here's how it works. Both you and your employer have to contribute to this one central savings account. But what's really clever is that the account isn't totally locked away. You can actually use it for big things like housing and healthcare along the way. Then, when you retire, a chunk of it gets turned into an annuity, which is basically a guaranteed paycheck for the rest of your life. So the core idea here is really powerful when you think about it. The system is still built on that principle of self-reliance, but it makes sure it happens by using the power of forced automatic savings.
Okay, our final stop on this world tour looks at some countries that have found a really compelling middle ground. These are the hybrid systems that tried to blend the best of both worlds, the collective approach and the individual one.
And Australia is a fantastic example of this. Their system has 2 main parts. First, there's an age pension. It's a government safety net that's means-tested.
which just means it's there for people with lower income and assets to make sure they're okay. But the real engine of the system is something they call superannuation, where employers are required to contribute a pretty big chunk. We're talking 11 to 12% of an employee's salary into a private retirement account for them.
And this is really why that hybrid approach is so effective. It guarantees a basic floor so that no one is left completely destitute, but at the exact same time, it helps pretty much every single working person build their own substantial nest egg through those automatic private savings. It's the best of both worlds. Okay, we've seen a lot. We've been all over the world. Now it's time to bring these lessons back home. So, what can we here in the US actually learn from this whole journey? Lesson number 1 is just crystal clear. You have to make saving the path of least resistance. Systems from Australia to the UK have proven without a doubt that when you make saving the default option through auto-enrollment, participation just skyrockets. It basically harnesses our own inertia for good, and it is the single most powerful tool for boosting savings. Lesson number 2, a strong floor matters. A basic, guaranteed income, like those state pensions in the Netherlands or Australia's age pension, provides this fundamental foundation of security. It's all about ensuring dignity in old age and preventing poverty, no matter what the stock market is doing that day. And our third critical lesson is about the biggest wild card for American retirees, healthcare. So many of these successful global systems integrate health and long-term care planning right from the start. Here in the US, a single major health issue can totally derail decades of careful saving. So planning for these costs isn't just a nice idea. It's absolutely essential for true financial security. So at the end of the day, a truly secure retirement isn't about finding one single perfect solution. It's all about balance. It's having a government safety net to provide a floor, consistent workplace and personal savings to build wealth, and a rock-solid plan for healthcare, all of them working together to support you. You know, retirement really isn't about hitting a specific age anymore. It's about achieving financial readiness. So I'll leave you with this question. After seeing all these different ideas, what is one simple step, just one, that you can take, starting today, to build a stronger foundation for your own future? You've worked so hard your whole life to earn your freedom. Now is the time to plan for it. If you're ready to take that next step and apply some of these global lessons to your own life, visit retirementaihelper.com to start building your own personalized roadmap today. Thanks so much for joining me.